Riding out into the churchyard, Clooney climbed up on the wrecked gatepost. His fierce eye gazed out across the mighty army. As Clooney exhorted them, they roared back their frenzied replies. Where does Clooney's army go? Redwall, Redwall. What is the law of Clooney? Kill, kill, kill. Who will lead you to victory? Clooney, Clooney, Clooney the Scourge. Springing down among his army, the warlord waved the banner high overhead. With a mighty shout, the horde of Clooney the Scourge marched out upon the road to Redwall Abbey. Matthias and the other creatures of Redwall and Mossflower, the surrounding woods, must defend Redwall Abbey against the attacks of Clooney the Scourge, who has gathered a massive amount of weasels, ferrets, stoats, and rats to conquer the abbey. Brian is a very good author, and it's so good I didn't want to put the book down. Redwall is an excellent book. James Brian Jacques, that's his full name, was born on June 15th, 1939. He grew up in inner city Liverpool, England. He wrote a short story at age 10, but his teacher, who thought he copied it because it was so good, wanted him to falsely confess that he had copied it, and when he would not, he was labeled as a liar. He quit school at age 15 to become a sailor. After he quit being a sailor, his occupations were, there are quite a few of them, a stand-up comic, a postmaster, a boxer, policeman, a longshoreman, a playwright, a railway fireman, a long-distance truck driver, and a milk delivery man. When he was delivering milk for students at a blind school, he wrote Redwall for them, and he used a lot of descriptive wording so that they would be able to picture the characters in their heads. He first wrote Redwall down on 800 sheets of paper he kept in a grocery bag, so he wasn't very organized. One of the teachers he had as a child showed the first Redwall book to a publisher, and that got him a contract for the first 5 Redwall books. She showed the publisher the book without telling Brian, so it was copyrighted in 1986. Brian wrote 20 sequels, as well as other books, plays, and poetry. He died February 5th, 2011. Here are some awards his books have won. 3 books won the Lancashire Library's Children's Book of the Year Award. 3 won the Western Australian Young Readers Award. 4 won the shortlisted Carnegie Medal. And the first Redwall book won the American Library Association Best Books for Young Adults for 1987. Redwall was praised by readers. Here are some of its praises. And I've got quotes from readers, which are kids and adults. It's well written and richly detailed. Another person says, think Lord of the Rings with mice or Wind in the Willows with medieval weaponry. Either way, you've got a fine fantasy epic for kids that doesn't talk down to them. Someone else said, this series of books is incredible. They are well written and leave you wanting more. There's one more. Redwall is a great book for kids who love animals and fantasy. Some readers, however, found problems with Redwall. For instance, the violence level was a problem. Readers used words such as brutal, intense, and creepy to describe the violence level. The character death was also somewhat of an issue, both good guy and bad guy character death. And then there's also a high level of vocabulary. Some readers have used sophisticated and advanced to describe this difficult vocabulary. And there are a few mild offensive words in here, so you might want to watch out for those. My own opinion is that the book is well constructed to build suspense. If there's a cliffhanger at the end of a chapter, Brian sometimes switches plot threads to make you wait for the cliffhanger to find out what's at the end of the cliffhanger, wait to find out what's going to happen. The characters that seem real alive are the foxes, who are sneaky and they try to help Redwall and the rats at the same time, and Matthias, who changes. And Matthias is one of the characters who changes. At the beginning of the book, he is a mouse who trips over his shoes and drops the nuts he is carrying. At the end of the book, he has a wife and a son and has defeated Clooney. The imperfect side of him is that he runs off to go on quests without telling anyone where he was going. It has a good plot line, and Clooney tries one thing after another to take Redwall. Ultimately, everything fails. One of the funny parts is when mice let a hornet's nest fall on the attackers, where they drop their battering ram to flee from the wasps, and then the defenders pour vegetable oil on the battering ram. When one of the rats tries to pick up the battering ram to help use it, he has both of his legs broken under him as his claws slip out from the battering ram. Some of the suspenseful parts are when Matthias and a shrew are fleeing from Asmodeus, the snake, and when Matthias is fighting Clooney. Redwall is a good book. Brian resolved the conflict very well. Even though there's violence, confusing language, and some mild offensive language in it, Brian still did a very good job. He wrote 20, now there are 21, sequels, and I have not read any of them. But if they're all as good as the first Redwall book, Redwall is a truly excellent series. Thank you.